Mount Washington, New Hampshire's legendary peak. At just 6,088 feet tall, it's not even close to Everest or Denali. But it has something far more dangerous, some of the most extreme and unpredictable weather on Earth. Hurricane-force winds, sudden whiteouts, and temperatures that can kill in minutes. And in February of 1982, it did. This is the true story of a winter disaster that claimed the life of 20-year-old climber Christopher Kerley, and the harsh lesson it left behind. On February 25, 1982, a group of 5 college-aged hikers set out to climb Mount Washington. They were fit, energetic, and experienced in summer hiking. They had winter boots, insulated jackets, food, and water. They believed they were prepared. But what they lacked was the deeper knowledge of winter alpine danger, the knowledge that can only come from training or from bitter experience. As they ascended past 4,000 feet, the weather began to shift. On Mount Washington, storms roll in not by the hour but by the minute. Winds accelerated to 70 miles per hour. The clear sky vanished behind a wall of blowing snow. Wind chills plunged to 60 degrees below zero. In seconds, they lost visibility. They could no longer see the trail markers. Their compasses and instincts meant nothing. Snow erased all reference points, leaving only a white void. Christopher shouted, "We should go back. Visibility's gone." But in the chaos and cold, the group found themselves disoriented and unsure of direction. Turning back is easy when you know the way. It is nearly impossible when you don't. Then came the invisible enemy, hypothermia. It does not feel like freezing. It feels like exhaustion. It feels like confusion. It feels like wanting to sit down. Just for a moment. One hiker began to stumble, speaking incoherently. Another stopped responding to questions. These are the classic signs. The brain shutting down to conserve failing warmth. Christopher tried to assist another weakened member, but his own core temperature was dropping rapidly. The group attempted to huddle for warmth, hoping that either the weather would break or someone would find them. But the storm only intensified. 2 of the climbers eventually located the Lakes of the Clouds hut, a seasonal mountain shelter closed for winter, but physically standing. Inside, they found at least a barrier from the wind and used emergency supplies to stay alive through the night. But Christopher and 2 others never reached the hut. In the blinding snow, they collapsed only a few hundred yards away, close enough that in clear weather they might have seen it. Hypothermia is quiet. It is not dramatic. It does not scream. It whispers. It tells you to rest. It tells you you're fine. And then it turns out the lights. Rescue teams set out the following morning. These were experienced professionals from the Mount Washington Observatory, the Forest Service, and volunteer search crews. They were used to bad weather, but even they were staggered by the conditions. Wind gusts were recorded over 100 miles per hour. Visibility was measured in inches. Rescuers crawled at times because standing was impossible. 2 of the climbers were found alive inside the hut. Outside, in the snow and wind, Christopher Kerley and another member of the group were discovered. Too late. Just a short distance separated survival from tragedy. The aftermath of the disaster left a mark on the mountaineering community. The lesson was clear. Mount Washington is not a casual day hike. It is a serious alpine environment disguised beneath a modest elevation number. The tragedy highlighted crucial principles. Winter gear must be treated as essential, not optional. The weather must be respected, not assumed. Physical fitness cannot replace winter technical skill. And most of all, the decision to turn around must be made early, before the situation deteriorates. Today, many hikers trek across that same ridge, some knowing the story, many not. But the rescuers remember. They recall the mistake so many make, underestimating Mount Washington simply because it is not tall. One rescuer said, "Altitude isn't the danger up here, exposure is." This story is not meant to frighten people away from mountains. It is a reminder to respect them. Mount Washington is stunningly beautiful on a clear day, with sweeping skies and breathtaking views. But the same mountain also hides storms powerful enough to kill in hours. Christopher Kerley's death is a painful reminder that mountains are not conquered. They are negotiated with. You don't defeat Mount Washington. You earn its permission step by respecting the weather, the terrain, and the limits of the human body. And sometimes, the real summit is knowing when to turn back.